What are the best foods to eat for athletic performance? That is what I'm answering in today's Ask Yuri video.
Ask Yuri. You've got a health and fitness question? I've got an answer.
All right, guys, I've got a question from Daniel who posted this on my Facebook page. He wants to know what are the best foods to eat for improving athletic performance and what times should they be eaten? Well, it's a complicated question to answer, but essentially my answer would be, what are the foods that best energize your body? Because as an athlete, if you don't have the energy, you're really not going to perform. So you're going to want to consider a couple different facets here. Energy in the sense of not necessarily just muscle glycogen like carbohydrates, but thinking about how you feel energetically. You don't want to feel sluggish, you don't want to have heavy legs, right? So the foods to eat to feel just great overall are very important. So I really encourage athletes to think about their overall diet as the most important pre-game meal, because it doesn't matter if you've got a game at 7 o'clock at night, what you have for lunch or dinner that day, it's never going to overshadow your overall diet. So think about how clean is your overall diet. That is the best performance meal that you can possibly eat. For me personally, when I was playing soccer, most of my diet for, again, this is like for 20 years, guys, like really bad food. Maybe not 20 years, 15 years, because when I was a kid, I wasn't eating this stuff. But breads, pasta, cereals, bagels, cheese, all that kind of garbage, that was my diet. I didn't really feel good. I'm amazed that I was still able to play professional soccer considering that garbage. And the problem with that stuff is that it's very inflammatory. It causes a lot of just blah type of feelings in our body, and it doesn't energize us, okay? Nowadays, if I had known what I know now back, 15 years ago when I was playing soccer at that level, I think it would have been a little bit better for me. So now my approach is really about eating more plant-based foods, getting a lot of greens in, a lot of veggies, fruits, green juices, green smoothies. These are all the foods that energize our body. And I'm talking about energy from this feeling of energy, not, oh, I don't feel too good today. I'm feeling pretty lethargic. You see the difference there? So I'm very energetic when I speak, very passionate. A lot of that is driven by, obviously, my passion for what I do, but also because I fuel my body with awesome foods. Now, secondly, you want to consider what you're consuming in terms of performance aids, in terms of recovery or pre-workout nutrition. So when you work out or when you're playing a game, you want to consider that you're burning a lot of fuel, a lot of carbohydrates mainly as your fuel source. So it's like driving a car from A to B. You need to refuel, you need to fill up the gas tank afterwards. So your muscles contain stored carbohydrates known as glycogen. So you need to replenish that glycogen after a game, after a training session, to recover as best as possible for your next bout. So things like carbohydrates, good carbohydrates, like sweet potatoes, starchy vegetables, right, like beets, parsnips, carrots, those are all really good sources of kind of starchier carbohydrates. Then you can look at non-glutinous pastas, so gluten-free pasta, rice pasta, stuff like that. You can look at almond flour bread if you really need to have bread. There's a whole world outside of the traditional pasta and bread for athletes, and that's really what I want to get you to consider with that stuff. So hopefully that answers your question. Again, this is a whole world of mystery with respect to most people's knowledge. So if you have any other questions with respect to this stuff, join me over at Facebook, and you can post your question there, and I'll be happy to create another video for you in the near future.